Good morning. Hey, Steve. Doug. Tibor. Let's see. It's an isomorphic keyboard. It's like an 8-stringed bass with 7 frets. Hey, electronic composer. Where are we headed today? I'm not sure. We've got a few lo-fi things going on today, and I'm not a big fan of lo-fi, but, you know, trying some new textures. I had a Deluge as well, Doug, and its isomorphic keyboard is a little too small and no velocity sensitivity, so I was not a fan. Hey, the panda. How's it going, Panda Man? Yeah, I had a Deluge before I got open to the community. And I actually ended up, it was like a temporary thing. I was waiting for a Sequentix Circlon, and I'd been on the waiting list for like 3 years, and I ended up getting a Deluge because I thought it would never get the Circlon, And then, of course, like 3 days after I took shipment of the Deluge, I got a notification from the Sequentix guys that the Circlone was ready. So I kept the Deluge for like a month and then got rid of it and spent a year and a half with the Circlone. So, hey, Casual Noises. Hey, Kieran. This is a Launchpad Mini, actually, Kieran. Are you just using it as a bank of switches for changing patches and for changing, doing chord changes? Just doing a bunch of layers today. See how busy we can get it. Hey, Craig. I have MPE on the 3, but I'm just using it in. I'm actually just using it in channel aftertouch mode because I haven't added any MPE equipped synths to the mix right now. That'll be an experiment for later in the year. The native instruments that are built into Ableton, of course, like work great with the MPE push, but I haven't messed with trying any extra hardware MPE with it yet. You know, I could push it to the Hydrasynth and see where that goes. Hey, Garen. Here's a question for you, Garen. It's Iceland, right? So the cuisine, there's a lot of seafood in the cuisine. I don't think they've got a lot of land there for, you know, cattle, or maybe not even pork. But I'm curious because I'm not a big fan of seafood. So if I go to Iceland for any length of time, you know, what are my dietary options there? And I understand it's a stupid question. There we go. Now I've got to figure out how to pick up the pieces. 1 second. All right. Let's see. I think I lost the settings on the mod wave. 1 second. Yeah. Hang on a second. I didn't save my set. Well, I mean, I saved the set state had been saved. Like Ableton didn't crash just now. Oh, what happened? So I actually had a hardware malfunction. My audio interface like locked up. DSP went. I don't know why, but I had to hard reset the interface. And that happens. I don't know. I think that's like the third time it's happened in like maybe a year. I mean, these interfaces are 15 years old. They're getting there. I will eventually replace them, but hold on a second. I think that might work. Let's see. That wasn't what I had selected. And usually I write down patch selections. So when I, before I realized it was the interface, I thought it was one of the hardware synths, and I reset the hardware synth first. And then, of course, I wasn't paying attention at what my what patch had been loaded, and so. But it was the hardware. All right, so let's try bringing this all back in a second. That's not right. Let's bring that down an octave, shall we? There we go. I think I had a drone on this one. There we go. And then a bass drone. Sub. There we go. All right, where was I? Before the crazy crash. Let's see. Yeah, cyber attack. Yes. The gnomes of Zurich. They're angry at my association with Andy Synchrotron. And so they're coming in. The Illuminati. Let's see. Do I prefer playing melodies on touchpads or keys? I've been playing pads for 20 years, 15 years, so I'm okay with pads. I can play on the keys okay. I'm not a great piano player, but, you know, it's okay. Yeah, the audio interface went wonky. Almost anything I can get at home, I can get there in Iceland, Garen. Good to know. Yeah, rebooting. I didn't reboot. It wasn't, believe it or not, it wasn't software that crashed. It was hardware. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't panic on the audio crash. I just take it in stride. I work in the software industry. I just assumed it was software. I was actually pleasantly surprised that it was hardware. It's like, it's not the software's fault for a change. Let's see. Except Dr. Pepper. No Dr. Pepper in Iceland? Can you get Moxie? Because if you can't get Moxie, we're done. So, alright, I'm getting caught up with the chat here. Casual Noises says self-identifying as a nerd. That's good. Nerds are always welcome. Yeah, exactly. Revenge of the Nerds. What was it? I had a friend who used to make a joke. He was like, all the beautiful people in high school, as children, like picking on the nerds, which is like a trope, really. I don't know how much of that really happened. I mean, I didn't get picked on any more than any other kid, right? There were those who picked on the smaller ones and those who didn't, but anyway, I've got a friend who refers, I can't remember how he phrases it exactly. He says, all the nerds are in power now, and they've got a name for all those people who picked on them. They call them soft targets. Like, oh, that's dark. Very dark. Hey, Deluxe. Let's see, who's popped in? Perky Pat's there, too. And Toroid Labs. How's it going, Jason? Jason, I missed a January. Were you doing family stuff? Let's see. You missed it, Jason. We had a hardware crash here. Recovered from it. And there's Shat. Good morning. Maybe software made the hardware crash? No, it was definitely hardware. That was like a DSP kind of lockup on the interface. They claim there's Dr. Pepper, but you have yet to find any. Okay, that's fine. Yes, nerds. Wow, you had a combination. That's like a triple threat, right? Someone who can play sports ball and program computers and is good with tools. Anyway. Oh, you posted it late, Jason? I'll check it out. See you at the company meeting today, right? What device crashed? It was the Motu Ultralight AVB. Okay. The AVB locked up, so easy enough to reset. The other, I have two interfaces running right now, a Motu AVB and a Motu 24AI. The 24AI is mostly the analog in stuff for all the synths. And it was happy. I didn't have to reset it at all. It just reconfigured across the network. Because they're not hard. They're only connected over Ethernet. So, like, pieces can go down and you can reset them and everything reconnects automatically. So, yeah, Jason, I've got a dentist. I managed to chip a tooth or something yesterday, so I've got an emergency dentist appointment this morning at 8:30. I'll go in there, and then I'm going to be late to the company meeting. I sent the corporate events people a note just saying, hey, when I show up late, is there a different protocol for security or things like that, right? They're pretty clear on like leave time for the security stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. But I'll see at the dinner food thing at 2 or noon or whatever. Anyway, but I'll be late probably, so I'll be in the back of the room. Mark of the unworking audio device. Motu's really good gear. I got no issues with it. this particular one is so old, I'm okay with it. All right, let me put a little bass line under this, and we'll do some chord changes. I think I'm caught up on the chat. Doug says your funky demonstration with Trillion had me inspired to purchase XLN82. Oh, nice. All right, let's do a little bass. We've got, wow, the bass that sub is so loud that it's compressing and ducking everything else. Hold on one second. Let's put just something simple under this. Alright, that'll work. Had to kill the drone. I gotta change the bass line a little bit. It's doing, the first bar is 1 octave up, and it's not quite jiving. There we go, let's try this. See. Do some chord changes over this. Yeah, Kieran, Motu is Mark of the Unicorn. They're actually a Boston company. They're local. That's why I tell people it's like buy local. just doing chord changes while I read the chat here. Hey, Gazinigans. Good morning. Don't let me contribute to your distraction from work. Yeah, let's do this. I had some patterns that I was messing with earlier before the stream started. I just queued them up. That's a little interesting progression there. Hey, Wabbit. Pull this down. There we go. Let's talk about the sounds we have here. So, hey, Viral. Let's see. All right, everybody's talking about travel to Iceland. That's good. So, the only thing that's keeping... I've wanted to go to Iceland for, I don't know, at least 5 years. I've been really considering it. It's close enough to Boston that... you know, we could just get on a plane on a whim on a Friday and go to Iceland, you know, for the weekend. And my wife loves that idea because she loves to travel. But we have a small dog who's like special needs, and we can't board him. So you have to kind of be present. So basically the dog is this anchor preventing us from doing impulse travel. One of, you know, he's getting really old, so one of these days he's gonna, you know, pass away, and then we will go to Iceland. Let's see. Anyway, so the pads are the pads. Oh, sorry, we had a new one. Did I have a new pad? No. Pads are the same. No changes to the pads. What changed? The lead. Got a pluck lead here. Again, that's Omnisphere. Still have the other 4 leads. We still have the Super Saw. And the soft. The lead for like bird fluttering. We do random. That sort of Moog modular sort of lead, and then this is the new one. So another pluck that I wanted. Have to be a long weekend, yeah. I stopped in Iceland once on my way to Paris. That was, we didn't leave the airport. But I like Iceland Air. I like their airline a lot. Because you have other things that are preventing you. I suppose you could take the kids, Toroid. You should just go to Iceland. Your children can be, taken care of by your neighbors, perhaps. Let's see. All right. So one new lead. The bass is the same. The Op6 is doing this rhythmic thing. It's just there for texture, really. Wave State's doing this. The Wave State was actually doing something different, and then I reset it because I thought it was what had crashed, and I don't remember what the preset was that we were using at the time. Anyway, so that's where we're at now. Mod Wave's doing this. The pluck, it's a pluck lead, a bit of sustain, but a nice sort of plucky attack for doing Berlin School patterns. The Summit is the same lead that we used yesterday. Sort of a brassy, sort of super saw stab. And the Hydrasynth is like the Mod Wave. It's got a sort of a plucky sort of lead that sustains with way too much delay. That's what we're doing for sounds today. Where are we? Oh, it's day 21. We're in the last home stretch, right? The 10 countdown to the end of the month. So, what am I going to do after January? I will stream on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern, back to the Synth Shenanigans schedule. But just once a week. And I'm going to be working on some music, actually. Like, I have this urge to get another EP out, or an album, if I can generate that much. But, let's drone. I want to work on a new EP. Pretty motivated to dig into some synths. I want to get really deep into the programming of these Korgs. So, and I'm set up to like do it on the couch. So there we go. And so I really want to sort of dig in and start doing. So I could do relatively simple patches. Use a relatively simple patch and then layer a bunch of simple patches together. And I kind of want to experiment with having heavily layered complex patches that do a lot of things and respond to a lot of performance controls. So if I can get like one patch on the Mod Wave, for example, that does what 2 or more layers onto simple synth that I would do. If I can do something like that, it might be an interesting exercise. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to get a bit more into sound design. So there will probably be some sound design videos that come out on the channel just because the nature of how I work. I'll document what I do, So I'll make a patch and be like, oh, this works well, and then I'll do a video that deconstructs it. There's a lot of that out there. I don't really care if I'm repetitive. It's for me, right? It's my documentation of my process and journey. So like, whatever. If that's useful, great. If you just prefer the lives, just watch on Sundays. So, so it's all good. Let's see. Just quickly catching up. I still talking about Iceland, a little bit about do a year, Steve? You mean like SOAR? No way. They're insane. It's cool that they can do it, but no way. My wife would kill me. And honestly, I'm tired of waking up at 4:30. Let's see. Seeker, do you have a favorite composer of electronic music? Asks electronic composer. Ooh, recursion. Do I have a favorite composer? I think my favorite composer of electronic music would be, let's say, I'm going to give you two because there's contemporary and then there's like classic. If I was pulling something classic out of the bin from, I shouldn't say bin, because bin in the United States doesn't mean trash can as it does in other places. People say, throw it in the bin, meaning get rid of it. Bin for musical context means looking through the container that contains all of your old vinyl albums. Those are kept in a bin. And I guess it's arguable that vinyl albums belong in a bin in the non-US sense, but whatever. So from a classic perspective, though, I like when I want to listen to something from a composer's perspective, like I want some interesting music that still moves me, I listen to Larry Fast, any release by him under the name Synergy, Synergy. He's got about 6 or 7 albums. And there's nothing recent. He was active in the 70s and 80s. He does a lot of just pure synth compositions. They're great. And if I want someone contemporary, there's like a million. Like there's so many. I don't think I could pick one from the contemporary bin. Right? If I want to pretend to be kind of hipster about it, I'll be like, well, I like Stretta, this guy, Matthew Davidson, who releases music under the name Stretta, Stretta. The thing is, Stretta is a relatively common word, so if you Google it, you may not find actually him. So his name is Matthew Davidson. He's a teacher at Berkeley here in Boston. I think he's maybe 10 years younger than me. He's a big software guy, did a lot of stuff with Monome early on, did a ton of stuff with modular, and he's done some modular albums that are really good. I like him, like from a composition perspective. It's not EDM, it's like his own thing. He does ask me in the chat as well, like just not in this chat. Well, actually, you asked it, I'll remember. When I review this, I'll post a link as a comment to one of his albums. Stretta does an album that's like he walks away from tempo consistency. Like he does pieces of music where the tempo is on a sawtooth, right? So the tempo rises and rises and then drops and then rises and drops. Which sounds like it would be really weird, but it works. It just works really well. Anyway, sorry, a little tangent there. Yeah, I am going to try and lean into Jam Taba a little bit more this year. Try and do some more. We do. So on our Discord, there's a group that does like a monthly jam, and so we are going to do one of those coming up. I want to say last week of January or the first week of February. It really comes down to whether we want Garen to be present or not. Because Garen's on vacation or unavailable at the last week, I think. So, yeah, DP Modern Muso, Larry Fast, that's him. He does. He released albums as Synergy. Some of the albums that are worth listening to is like Chords. Nothing's coming to mind now. That's on the tip of my tongue. But search for Larry Fast. If you search for Synergy, I've noticed there was like a hip hop band that called themselves Synergy, so you'll know whether you found the synth music or not. Yeah, the Berkeley in Boston is a school of music. The Berkeley in California is a completely different thing. Oh, you know some things by Stretta. Cool. Yeah, Matthew Davidson. He's a local man. He's very, very nice guy. Stretta. That's good, Doug. Hang in there, man. Just keep rolling. Keep moving forward. Yeah, Synergy is Larry Fast. Larry Fast is Synergy. Let's see. What time is it? 8:41? No, 5:41. Yes, we need glasses to be fixed. Let's see. Let's do one more little noodle, and then we'll get ready for the company meeting and the dentist visit. Let's turn the tempo up a little bit. Let's go to, what's a number that I like? 101. I just like symmetry. Okay, let's see. We'll start with the bass. I don't always start with the bass. I used to always start with the bass, but I've been trying to break my own habits. Yeah, let's do this. Let's not do something foundational with the bass. Let's do something sparse and melodic, and then put things on top of it. Nope, that's starting an old pattern. Hold on. There we go. And let's turn the sub back up. That should come in when I sustain. Let's noodle for a bit. We'll use the capture feature. Oh, that's not going to work. Helps if you put it in tempo. I forgot that I changed the tempo. Let me turn the metronome on. Oh my God. Hang on a second. I keep, when I hit record, I've got a thing installed, like a utility that it tries to find the most recently modified clip and then overdub it. It's not what I want to do right now. Fix that. So no, not triplet feel. Bear with me. Yeah, that'll work. Make some layers. Cleaning up my little grace note messes here. Editing a little velocity here and there. Some of those were hit it a little too hard. All right, I want to put some texture in here with this Op6 patch. Just really occasionally hit a note. That's enough of that. Let's change the key here. Or change the chord that's playing. Yep. Yeah, Larry Fast he played with a lot of people. Doug, should I get the expansion? Probably not. I mean, not yet. If you just picked up that drum library, you should probably work with it for a while before you get an expansion. I mean, it's up to you, right? But I'm just saying, like, it's easy to buy something and then start adding on expansions before you figure out the base system. Speaking of Larry Fast, if you listen to what I've built just now, Yeah, it sounds a lot like Larry Fast, actually. A little subliminal lifting there. Electronic composer, I'll have to look at him up. Ryuichi Sakamoto. Oh, that'll be a search. I'll listen to him in the car today as I'm driving. What are the names of the Synergy albums, Craig? I can only remember chords. There's a bunch. There's like experiments with electronic rock, and Sequencer was another one. Yeah, chords, Sequencer. Oh, Metropolitan Suite. That's a sort of late one, but that was good as well. Audion. Yeah, that's a good one. There we go. All right, so that was a nice little exercise. And let's take everything out in the order I added it. Let the op6 make one more. 2, 1. There we go. Go back to the lead. You know what? There. We'll drone major interval. All right. I will check out Sakamoto. That's new to me. Jupiter Menace is pretty good too. My favorites are Audion, Sequencer, and chords. Someone asked me earlier if I was running MPE or poly aftertouch on the push, and I'm not. I'm running channel aftertouch, channel pressure, because almost every instrument I use is monophonic. I don't really need to mess with poly AT or MPE. But I'll get around to it this summer. Live 11 included an MPE-enabled drum kit. Ugh, it's so much fun to play. Very, very expressive. So I'll probably start there. Yes, Live 11, just because it was a while ago. I think it was Live 11. Maybe it was 12. It was when the Push 3 came out. Anyway, you love your Osmos, Philip? Dillip Funbar? I like the Osmos as well. I don't own one, but I got a good chance to spend a lot of time with one. And it's nice. It felt weird at first because the keys are so wobbly. But I really like the long throw. That after pressure throw just feels good pushing down. Anyway, Philip. I'm always going to call you Philip Dillip because I know Philip Dunbar. You're sneaking in at the end here. I'm sort of packing it in over the next couple of minutes. Did a couple pieces. Because I play the Rick bass so much, I don't mess with deep synth sounds, but some of them. Right? I probably should. That's something I'm not gonna. I keep toying with the idea of letting go of the Rick bass, but honestly, just not gonna happen. But let's see. We could play a synth bass low. Actually, let's change that pattern. And then we'll bring the Rick up an octave. Hang on a second. More delay. All right, this is just going to be an exercise in dumb. getting cacophonous and muddy. Let me take the take this out. Hold on. There we go. Let's just put a root on it. And let's just see what happens when we transpose it around. It's pretty whack right now. All right, enough of that noise. Anyway, that was total just like an experiment. I have a folder, so I should show you guys the hierarchy of my project folder. So I've got a project folder, live projects, and within it there are subfolders, one of which says streaming, which contains streaming projects. Then there's like a current project folder. And then there's a folder called science. And that would be something that goes into the science folder, right? There's a folder of like, let's just try and do things the opposite, it's opposite day, or we're going to try this new, technique I read about, or chord progression, or harmonic idea, or a new technology thing, or I'm building a new Max for Live device or something like that. All of that goes into the science folder. And the science folder is by far the largest folder of uncompleted projects because they're just open-ended, right? So I don't know. Do you have a science folder? Everybody's got like a work in progress, generally. Yeah, anyway. Let's see. I think that's about it. What time is it? 6:04. Yeah. Really quick through for looking for questions. Let's see. Well, Osmos discussion. The habit, like Chase Bliss pedals. I saw an interesting video about the Thermae, their delay, which I never really understood. I never owned one, but I didn't quite understand how it's what the point of it was. And someone did a deep dive into the Thermae the other day, because the Thermae is no longer available, no longer being produced because of the whatever minerals elements were used in the Vactrals. The EU has said no, can't have those anymore, and so they basically stopped production on it, which is fine. Thanks for keeping us safe, but. Anyway, this guy did a deep dive on the Thermae, and interesting sort of delay / logic computer. Interesting stuff. If you're into weird delays, Chase Bliss Thermae. All right, Tangerine Dream, Chit Chat. DP Modern Muso says to Dilip that habit is best on guitars. I would say that most of Chase Bliss's pedals are designed with guitar first in mind. I think they think about synths and they do. Those are considerations in their designs, but I agree. In my experience, the Chase Bliss pedals all work better with things that are sort of pluck sustain kind of sounds, guitar-like. Any new Eurorack? Yeah, I've got a new MIDI to CV conversion module that's in the science bin, and I want to call it Mutant Brain. It's not new; it's new to me. It's Mutant Brains Noir Edition. It's going to go into the rack with the Matriarch, and we'll see where it goes. The Matriarch is a unfinished science experiment over there right now. I'll get around to it. Thanks, Casual Noises. It's like a radio show with questionable music. So Panda, Vactrols were banned because the sensor, the mineral or the chemical they use in the sensor side of the Vactrol is a carcinogen. And so the Vactrols that use that particular detector cannot be sold in the EU anymore. And that's why Chase Bliss, they dropped 3 or 4 pedals. They basically discontinued and said, not going to make these anymore. I know my favorite pedal effect is Univibe, and Univibe uses Vactrols. Actually, no, that's not true. Well, it uses LEDs and detectors. I don't know if they're glued together in a Vactrol form, but low pass gates certainly are Vactrols usually. All right, hot chocolate. People are falling asleep. Coffee. I'm gonna go make some tea. 6:07. I got to be out of here at 7:30. So the dog needs maintenance and things like that. We got about 9 inches of snow yesterday, 8 or 9 inches. So I did all that shoveling yesterday. It was fine. Yeah, I like, what is it? Jervis. Jason got me hooked on, or maybe it was Grace. Either Grace or Jason got me hooked on, got me to try a Yorkshire tea. And I like that. It's different. A little, I don't know if that's like, if it's the genus and species of the tea plant or something about how they let it, ferment when they turn it into black tea. It's got a funk to it that I like in the morning. So. Yorkshire. Thank you. That's the correct pronunciation. Yeah, Grace Griffin thing. I think I got it from Grace. It might have been Jervis, but Grace put me onto it, and then I found a brand that was available on Amazon and reasonably, I hope this isn't it's probably sacrilege, but I drink decaf always. No caffeine in my life, not anymore. So Yorkshire, but not Yorkshire. Okay. Worcestershire. There's a town west of here that's spelled Worcester, but it's Worcester. So anyway, all right, gents and ladies. I didn't see any ladies today. No Animotion, no Davy. It's just a habit. I want to say Davy. Nope. All right. Well, everybody, have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I will see you then. I got to figure out. Might have a little extra time tonight. Maybe I'll try making a complex patch on one of the corks tonight while I sit with my wife, and we'll demo it tomorrow morning. We'll see how it is. All right. All right. I'm out. Closing the stream.